especially the tail end of February, all the games around the ABL has become more defensive. I think teams are really settling in and, really playing hard defense. The scoring, was really high at the beginning of the season, and it's kind of dropped off a little bit. And that's not for the lack of people shooting the ball, players shooting the ball. That's just credit to all the hard defense that teams are playing right now.
Defense, what wins championships,
That's
Paul?
Right. Offense may win you a couple games. The officials discussing, I believe it's the shot clock that had to be reset. So getting ready for the inbounds. It's going to belong to the Slingers. Don't forget as well, tomorrow, as we mentioned, there's going to be a slam dunk contest. Here's the rundown of the contestants. So there's going to be one contestant from each team. Wutipong Dawson from the Slammers, Mo Tautua from the Dragons, Chris Daniels from the Warriors, Gabe Freeman, who's going to be replaced by somebody from the Beermen, obviously, Delvin Go from the Slingers, and David Palmer from the Heat. So that should round out to be a pretty fun competition to watch.
The first ever slam dunk contest at ABL. It should be quite an exciting time, and we can't wait to see all of you tune into YouTube tomorrow at 7 p.m. to watch this three-pointer and the slam dunk contest.
The game is back underway, and the Slingers immediately turn it over and hand it back to the Beermen. It's 2-2 at the start of this one. Still early in the first quarter. RJ Rosada to inbound, and Chris Banchero has it in the backcourt. Banchero having an outstanding game the last time out for the Beermen. Player of the game with 19 points. A lot of those coming off three-point plays. Rosada back inside to Banchero. What a beautiful give and go.
Now that is a good play by the Beermen. Moving in a set play, just passing it on to Banchero for an easy layup down low.
Desmond O. Draped by the defense from Rosada. Finds Dulé on the right side. Inside to Singleton for the two-handed flush.
Well, they pulled Tulova out to the half court and left Singleton down low open. So then when you do that, someone's got it bound to be open down low.
So the Slingers showing a little bit of pressure here early on. Banchero finds Rosada, drives along the baseline. Asi Taulava with it. Tries to make a move on Singleton, and he's blocked. From behind, help defense coming from Kabatu. 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and the Beermen are forced to put one up. Off the miss, Dulé finds Jennings inside, deep underneath the basket, unable to put it off the glass. That's going to be a foul on Brian Williams, his first of the game. Brian Williams had also missed two games back. The Beermen still able to win without one of their imports. Dulé misses from outside. Williams collects the rebound, and the Beermen are on the move. Ball's tipped away into the hands of Banchero, and he loves that little floater in the lane.
A silky smooth shot from Banchero.
Banchero now covering Dulé. Desmond O passes it to Singleton. Finds Jennings inside to Kabatu. Back outside to Jennings. Jennings thinks about it. Hands off to Dulé. 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Kabatu's going to have to put this up. Finds Singleton, but the shot clock winds down to 0. So a great job there by the Beermen to guard the shot and not let the Slingers have any easy looks.
The Slingers need to be a little bit more aware of the clock. It didn't seem like some of the players knew what was going on. And so let's see what they can do in the future. They're trying to get it down low, Paul. That's what they're trying to focus their game on right now. It seems like the Beermen are shutting the guards down a little bit. They're trying to put the post-up game, get some easy points. Michael
Johnson looking on as his Slingers are now down by 8 after that shot. John Dulé brings it back up. Desmond O, whose three-point shot has deserted him as of late. Back to O. Gets the screen from Kabatu. Ball's tipped away by Rosada. Rosada starts the fast break. Taulava. And Kawaling with the easy finish off a nice pass by Taulava.
Now that is a good fast break point by the Beermen. The 3-on-2, perfectly executed.
The big man, The Rock, there leading the fast break.
Yeah, I didn't know he had any handles, but he showed some handles there.
Dulé on the right side. And another turnover by the Slingers. Down by 6 early on. Could be more. Banchero spins his way inside, and he's fouled by Dulé.
Slingers cannot revert back to what happened last game with their 28 turnovers. But as you can see, this game's already started off with 2 turnovers in a row. This is not a good thing for the Slingers. Let's see if they can kind of focus, clamp down a little bit, reduce the turnovers, at least to give themselves a little bit of a chance.
Chris Banchero, always dangerous off that dribble penetration. He had 4 3-point plays against the Warriors the last time out. And 3 of those went in. Chris Banchero makes it a 7-point lead. Scratch that, make it 8, and it's 12-4 for the Beermen. Don Dulé over to Mitchell Folkoff. Folkoff tries to get around the screen, unable to, picks up his dribble. Kabatu bails him out. Dulé, and that's going to be an offensive foul. They're going to call that on the screen set by Junjay Kabatu.
Kabatu was moving his feet a little bit there. Whenever you move your feet, they're going to call the offensive foul every single time.
A substitution for the Slingers as we see Kingdae Wu come into the game. Kawaling to Williams to Rosada. Ajay Rosada finds Banchero. Inside to Williams. He tries to fire in the pass, but Williams caught that on the pinky. You know how much that hurts. Gets his finger jammed and unable to get back on defense. Singleton takes advantage. So Brian Williams a little bit slow to get back, clutching his hand there, and Singleton able to beat everyone down the floor. Gets the easy 2 points for Singapore.
He's making Duncan look easy.
Williams puts up that set shot. He's good from outside, but misses that one. Taulava tries to save it off Jennings, but keeps it in play. Banchero, left side. Dishes off to Taulava. The Rock off the glass.
What a good play by Taulava to save the ball and then get the ball back, just lay it up.
Singleton again on the block. Facing up against Brian Williams. Dishes off. Kingdae Wu. That's off the mark. The Rock cleans up the rebound. And here come the Beermen once again. Williams filling the lane, and he gets fouled. Williams hitting that post pretty hard. It looks to be all right. So once again, the Beermen able to run the floor, getting out in transition, and so far controlling this game. It is a 14-6 lead for the San Miguel Beermen. We'll be back with more first quarter action right after this. We're back at Tonbin Stadium here for our second game of Hoops Fest Weekend 2013. Brian Williams stepping up to the line. after that last foul before the break. And makes good on the second free throw and has now built it to a double-digit Beermen lead.
The Slingers really have to get themselves together, make their shots, don't create turnovers to make sure that this is a blowout, Paul.
Jennings trying to find Singleton. There's problems getting position, but Mitchell Volkov lets it fly from beyond the arc and makes good on it. Chris Banchero gets a screen from Taulava. Taulava catches it in the lane. Leaves it short, and Jennings with the rebound. It's Dulé and Jennings on the right side. Singleton loses it. And the Beermen again on offense. Williams on the baseline, cross-court pass, tries to get it to Kowalling, but not on target, and that one goes out of bounds, back to the Slingers.
And looking back, that was a huge three on Volkov. Now they're only down by 7. Let's see if they can claw back in this game.
Dulé to Wu. Singleton with the screen. And again, the Slingers turn it over. So plenty of turnovers at the start of this one. Volkov is able to get back and tip it away. He claims it was tipped off of Beermen, but it's going to remain San Miguel's possession. So turnovers so far being the story of this one for the Slingers.
Oh yeah, it doesn't seem like a very tight game at this point. But at the very least, Singapore tried to hold on with a little hustle. That was a good play by Volkov. Even though it was a 2-on-1, he was still able to defend the ball.
A post up now by Banchero, fading away on Volkov. Recognizes the size mismatch, but it's too strong. Volkov on offense to Jennings. Jennings back outside. Here's Wu down the lane, and he gets fouled by Williams. If that is Williams' foul, no, they're going to call that on. It is going to be Brian Williams, so that's going to be his second foul really early in the game.
That was a really good play. They're going to have to keep doing that to try to get some of the big men out. But he just sliced and diced and made himself in between two of the big men and got the shot up. Let's see if we can make these 2 free throws.
So we're going to have our first look at Justin Williams, brought in to replace Gabe Freeman for the time being, as Freeman recovers from his strained MCL. Second free throw is good. And now the Beermen push it up the floor. Kowalling puts up the 3, off the mark. Rebound by Wu. Dulé. And the Slingers set it up. The Slingers opting to stay with their half-court offense. Singleton puts up a shot, and that's good. Nice little jumper by Rashad Singleton.
Singleton showing he can play inside and outside. Let's see if he can continue.
Justin Williams catches a pass deep underneath the basket, and he gets fouled on the play. So on his very first touch, Justin Williams gets to the free throw line.
San Miguel Beermen are pretty deep with these big men, especially with Taulava, Williams, and Williams. Let's see if Singleton is only one man. Let's see if he gets tired by the end of the game.
With Eric Menk out for this game as well, and Gabe Freeman, Justin Williams, who they brought in to replace Freeman, is actually bigger than him, so adding some size in a way in that position.
In the ABL, that's going to be a big advantage for you when you have that many big men on your roster.
By far, the San Miguel Beermen are the largest team in the league, size-wise. They have a lot of big men. They have a lot of depth on that bench. And, when they face off against teams like the Slingers and the Heat, who are, they've got their starters, they're big imports, but they don't have much depth on the bench. That's going to come into play later on in the game. Chris Banchero forces the steal, another turnover, And he quickly gets down the floor, finds Taulava, almost gets the basket. It just rolls off the front of the rim, but he's going to get to the line after another foul by the Slingers.
Yeah, it looks like a Bentero Taulava show right now up to this point in the game here.
A great combination for the Beermen, both players playing well as of late. Taulava, a former MVP in the PBA, also represented the Philippines on the national squad, has now retired from international competition, but is still a force to be reckoned with here in the ABL. As he gets a fancy free throw there, a second one off the backboard a little bit. But it still counts, and it's a 6-point lead again for the Beermen.
Well, at least the Singapore Slingers are keeping it close. I thought it was going to be a big blowout, but some good play by Singleton down low and a quick shot. And let's see if the Slingers can call back. We're still very early now, Paul. 1:21 left in the first quarter. Let's see what the Slingers can do.
Volkov on the left side. Singleton pops up for the screen. Volkov goes left, dribbles it out of bounds. As we see Leo Avenido check into the game for the San Miguel Beermen. Avenido good for the timely three every now and then. Been around the ABL. He's actually played for the Slingers 2 years ago. So facing off against his former team is Justin Williams. Chris Banchero gets tripped up. And the defense crowding in around Chris Banchero as he picks up a little Charlie horse there, it seems. But looks to be all right. Inbound, Beermen finds Banchero in the corner, dribbles his way out of trouble. Kawaling over to Avenido. Avenido pulls back, lets one fly, and his first shot is off the mark. We're under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Singapore possession. Volkov inside, pass to Singleton, and that's going to be a push on Williams. The official staying on top of all the calls in this one to prevent anything from getting out of hand, as we see Val Acuna coming into the game for Kawaling.
Yeah, they're calling this game pretty tight, Paul, and it seems like a lot of the big men are racking up a lot of fouls. And this may be a good strategy by the Singapore Slingers if they can continue it.
Inbound on the baseline to Singleton. He's got Taulava on his back. Finds Volkov outside to King Dae-woo. Long two, off the mark. Williams with the rebound, and here comes Banchero. Bounce pass to Avenido, and Avenido, with his foot on the line, is going to give it back to Singapore with about 17 seconds remaining.
That was just poor awareness on Avenido's part. With 17 seconds left in the first quarter, you should not be turning the ball over. Now the Slingers have a chance to score the last basket of the quarter, and they would only be down by 4 if they do something with the ball here.
Here's Dulé setting up for what should be the final play of the first quarter. Jennings against Taulava and gets it to go. A nice move by Rashad Jones-Jennings over Asi Taulava. And as you said, that's going to cut it a little bit closer. The Slingers hanging in there in the first quarter. The Beermen lead it 17-13 after one. We've got more ABL action for you from Hoops Fest weekend right after this. William.
Nggak ada yang nge-cue gue keluar dari iklan atau gue nggak tahu kapan break. Hey folks, welcome back to Hoops Fest weekend here at Tonbin Stadium. Our first day. We are already into our second game. The Beermen leading the Slingers after a first quarter of play, leading it by 4. And it's going to be Val Acuna, Chris Banchero, Asi Taulava, Leo Avenido, and Justin Williams to start things off in the second for the Beermen. The Slingers start off with Don Dulé, Junjay Kabatu, the two Rashads, Jones, Jennings, and Singleton, and Desmond O. The Slingers now with their first possession of the second quarter. Jennings. Cross-court pass finds Desmond O. Over to Singleton. Singleton from really deep shot for Singleton. And way off the mark. Here comes Banchero. Finds Avenido, who dishes off to Justin Williams for the two-handed slam. Wow.
Oh my goodness. He went up, and I think Singleton got him on the arm, and he just slammed it down.
Some power there being shown by one of the Williams duo as Jones Jennings answers back and takes it right to the basket. Takes it up strong against Williams. Acuna to Banchero. Banchero's got the speed mismatch, but finds Justin Williams again. That time he misses, claims he was fouled, but here come the Slingers on the move. Kabatu finishes the left-handed layup.
That was a good fast break set for the Slingers. They're only down by 2 now, and it seems like the Beermen have to gather themselves here. I mean, they had a big lead, and now they're losing it. They got to score some of the easy baskets.
The Slingers giving the Beermen a little taste of their own medicine, getting out in transition. Val Acuna puts one up, and that's good.
What a good shot by Acuna.
Val Acuna just coming into the game, only about 23% from outside, but makes good on that one. Jennings gets blocked by Williams, but able to save it from going out of bounds. Shot clock is at 5 seconds. Singleton's going to have to make his move. Puts it up. That's way off. Asi Taulaba with the rebound. Dribbles it up, and here comes the alley-oop. That's too high. Leo Avenido had the right idea, trying to find Williams. I think he thought Williams had a little bit more hops than he actually does.
That would have looked really pretty, but I was way behind him. Way behind him. I'm not even sure if LeBron could have taken that ball. It seems like the Slingers are now, I mean, every single time they've had the ball in possession, they're working the clock down. And actually, that's a very good strategy to slow the Beermen down a little bit. They're a quick team, quick on the shot, quick on the fast break, and with some athleticism, now they just wind down the clock. They just have to make their shots before the clock expires. And I think that's their main problem right now.
The Slingers forcing the Beermen into a lower scoring game. And, you know, the Beermen can be a high-powered offensive team if they want to. I mean, they're the first team, the only team so far that scored over the century mark so far this season. They scored 100 against the Saigon Heat, and as they blew them out, I believe several weeks ago, over a month ago. But the Slingers, you know, doing a good job here to, you know, force their pace onto the Beermen.
A very good job, and it seems like since Brian Williams is out, they changed their strategy a little bit, passing down to Williams down low and using his athleticism just to get an easy basket. But he's only had, well, it's a very good slam, but only one good slam so far in the game. And let's see if they change it up a little bit and see if they can turn up the heat a little bit more.
So Justin Williams doing a good job to fill in for the other Williams, Brian Williams, who got into early foul trouble in the first quarter. The
Officials are tending to some court troubles. That was they noticed that when Leo Avenido went down on that offensive set off the ball, he was curling around a screen, and it looked like he slipped, but there's no wet spot. So fixing up the floor, and both teams taking advantage and discussing their plays a little bit. And, you know, for the bigs, especially those that get a lot of minutes like Jennings and Singleton, probably good for them to have these breaks in between to, you know, catch their breath a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what further down the game, if they're going to get any rest. At the very least, as you can see, Brian Williams, even though with 2 fouls, he's getting a lot of rest. He's going to be able to come back into the game and really wear down Singleton and Jennings. I mean, Slingers really don't have anyone coming off the bench.
Dulé over to Singleton again with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Puts it up. Jennings with the rebound off the miss, and he's blocked by Justin Williams. Singleton gets it back, and another block.
My goodness.
They're going to call a travel on Acuna, but a great defensive sequence by the San Miguel Beermen inside, especially from Justin Williams.
I don't know what he's got. I think he's got a 4-foot vertical, but he's getting up there for the slam and also for the blocks. That was 2 blocks in a row for Justin Williams.
He had a lot for breakfast this morning.
His Wheaties, Paul, his Wheaties. I don't know what the Wheaties equivalent is in Asia, but you know.
And almost gets another block, but that one was on its way down. So they're going to call that a goaltending violation, but you can see the energy from Justin Williams, just bringing great energy for the Beermen right now.
Is he in a slam dunk competition? Because I'd like to see that.
You know, I have a feeling he's going to replace Gabe Freeman in that competition as well.
You know what? Anthony's got to.
I think he's trying to gather our votes, you know, to send him into tomorrow's competition. With Gabe Freeman out, I mean, with the strained end. In it, only 1 possession down, 22-20, and still plenty of time in this one. Mitchell Volkoff with 2 fouls for the Slingers to match the 2 fouls picked up by Brian Williams of the Beermen as we get set to resume action here in the second quarter. Brian Williams back in the game now, so we're going to actually have to be a little bit more specific when we say Williams, because there's Justin and Brian Williams for the Beermen now.
Yeah, we got J, we got B, and let's see if these 2 guys, it'll be interesting to see how they play together down low. We got Williams who's a jumper, but Brian loves to post up as well, and so let's see how this mix works.
The Slingers showing some pressure defense again.
I think there was an issue with the 24-second clock, and I think the Singapore Slingers coach wants a little bit of an adjustment.
Again, there are some technical difficulties right now.
The scores actually need to be changed, 22-21.
And with a game at this pace, every point matters, because it could come down to just that, as the Beermen once again inbounded on their own end. Ubalde. He's got Acuna on the right. Acuna Guarded by Kabatu. Williams comes out. Back to Acuna. Sends one up from way outside. Hits the iron. Jennings with the rebound. Desmond O. Cross court to Dulé. Inside to Singleton. A quick offensive set. And a basket by Singleton will put the Slingers up by 1. 23-22. They take the lead.
They are up again, and what a play by Singleton. A little sky hook that goes straight in over Williams. Let's see how they play him, the next couple sets.
So the Beermen in a bit of a drought. Justin Williams is fouled by Singleton on that play.
Now on the defensive set for San Miguel Beermen, Benchero's not on the floor, and I wonder if that's the reason why the Slingers are getting a little bit more penetration. Right now Benchero's out, so you don't have any good defenders, and actually now the Singapore Slingers can actually penetrate, dish it off, and press to their big men. Let's see when Benchero gets back to the court if that adjusts the nature of the game.
Free throw's good for Williams. Slingers back on offense. Don Dulé. He's got Hubalde on him. Dulé, crossover, goes down the right side, pulls back, off the glass, and a nice soft touch by Don Dulé for his first basket of the game.
That was a very tight defense, and that was a great shot off the glass, but it looked pretty easy.
Avenido to Acuna, puts up another three, and that one's good. Knocks two down now from outside.
Doesn't that look pretty? He just ran up, got the ball in transition, and they just shot the ball up at the three. This is how you want to shoot your shots, kids, at home.
The Slingers back on the move. Kabatu dribbles along the baseline. Ball tipped away, but gets it back. 5 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Desmond O. Down the lane. Misses the layup, and the ball is tipped around into the hands of Brian Williams. Avenido up ahead. Misses the breakaway layup, and the Slingers run it back the other way. Desmond O uncontested for the layup, and the Slingers once again take the lead. Tie it at 27.
That was not a good set by Avenido. He was open, and you know what? Singapore got back, challenged a little bit, and he misses the layup.
And the basket is good, and the foul by Hubalde. So both teams now trading punches. As we see Chris Banchero check back into the game, replacing Avenido.
Now this is becoming a very fast game now. The speed of the game is picking up a little bit. You can see Jennings, Singleton, they're breathing a little bit out there. This is not good for the Singapore Slingers. Let's see if they can keep up with this pace.
(30-27) for San Miguel. Jobstreet.com Singapore Slingers. And Desmond O is fouled by Hubalde. So right now, that's only going to be the Beermen's first foul of the quarter. So doing well since the first quarter to stay out of foul trouble. Slingers inbound. Dulé. He's got Banchero on him. Kabatu over to O. O inside to Jennings. Back outside to O for three. Knocks it down.
What a shot by O. And now it's tied again. Back and forth. And we've got a game. Oh, this is a heck of a game.
So plenty of lead changes and ties in this one. Justin Williams open. And that's going to be travel. I think his eyes just grew big when he saw how open he was. And he just took too many steps even before he dribbled.
And you know what? He got up really high. But you know what? He couldn't finish it, and he walked a little bit. That athleticism is kind of his own evil right now. Let's see if he can gather himself, not just always dunk, but actually make a basket.
When a dunker gets that open, I think he gets, he can get a little too excited there. Singleton now, outside to Dulé for three. It's off the mark, but collected by Jennings, who gets fouled by Williams. Misses the shot, but he's going to go to the line for two.
What a heck of a move by Jennings. Faked inside a little bit, faked right, went up, drew the foul from Williams.
Rashad Jones-Jennings has been playing really well after a slow start to the 2013 season, averaging just under 15 points a game, and also gives the Slingers about 16 rebounds each time out. That's a pretty good average.
Yeah, slow figuratively and also literally. I mean, he was just kind of lazing down the court in the very beginning of the season, but now he's picked up his game. And I think these players, like you said, is high scoring, locking down the defense later in the season. Everybody's getting used to each other. Now I think we're getting some really good games, even though the scoring may not be high.
Jennings, a 37% free throw shooter, but gives the Slingers a 1-point lead. Acuna's got it again outside. Passes it to Banchero. Banchero back to Acuna. Another three, really contested three, and air ball, but that's collected by Brian Williams, who puts it back up for the deuce.
What a good play by Brian Williams to keep an eye on the ball and stay with the ball. He just collects it right under the basket like you're carrying a little baby.
It's like a little lob pass.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Singleton inside to Jennings, crowded by a bunch of white shirts. Singleton puts it up, misses it, but Jennings with the offensive putback.
That's a second offensive rebound for Jennings. And the Beermen have to have an answer for that, or they'll just let the Singapore Slingers stay in this game.
Acuna into the corner. Acuna puts up another three. He's hot from outside, but misses that one.
Another short shot by Acuna. I'm not sure what's going on with the shot, but he cannot leave it short on the court.
Singleton outside to Dulé, and Dulé leaves it short. Williams with the rebound. Banchero pushes it up the floor. Banchero 1-on-2. And that one goes out of bounds, but it's still San Miguel possession. Banchero just putting on the rocket boosters and getting down the court really quickly.
I was actually surprised he was going to take that. There were two players in front of him, but he just said, what the heck? I'll bring the Italian with me, and I'm trying to drive in the lane.
Banchero, a great finisher. Beermen still with the possession. Rosada fires it inside to Williams. Back outside to Banchero. Misses the three. Offensive rebound, Justin Williams. Unable to get the putback. Ball is tipped around. Volkov tries to tip it to himself, but gets it to Banchero instead. The Beermen with another crack at it, and Banchero makes good with the finger roll layup.
What a good play by Banchero. Again, there was a lot of back and forth on that possession. Justin Williams, again, he tried to go up and dunk the ball. He's got to make that layup to score 2 points. He's got to make a decision on trying to score instead of trying to make something look pretty.
Jennings with an errant pass, and Banchero picks it up on the other end. Would have been an easy basket, but he travels with it, so another traveling violation. Banchero arguing the call, but the referee's on top of that one.
It looked a little weird, but Banchero, he was moving so fast when he picked up the ball. I don't think he could stop.
All we saw was a cloud of dust by his feet normally. It's hard to see those feet shifting. Slingers have it back on offense. Jennings along the baseline, and the double coverage coming from Rosada. That's going to be a foul on R.J. Rosada. The Slingers are going to want to call a timeout. It is 34-33. It has become a really tight game here in the first half. We're under 1 minute to play. The Beermen lead it, although not by much. Still plenty of lead changes here in Game 2 of the ABL Hoop Fest 2013. We've got more action at the end of the second quarter, right after this break. 49 seconds remaining in the first half. A slim 1-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen, 34-33 over the JobStreet.com Singapore Slingers. The Slingers will inbound on the offensive end and try to take that lead back again.
I'd have to say, Paul, first 5 minutes, I was doubting a little bit that this was going to be close at all. Singapore Slingers are fighting back, and they fought back. We've got a hell of a game.
Desmond O puts up 3 from the left side, off the mark. And Brian Williams showing his handles there, but dribbling a little bit out of control, and he will give it back to the Slingers.
That wasn't a good play by Brian Williams. He should have worked the clock down a little bit there for the final possession, but he was trying to go on a fast break, on 1-on-3 fast break, and lost the ball.
Desmond O on the right side. And Williams takes it away, redeeming himself over to Rosada. Rosada misses the layup. Jarek Fortuna picks it up and gets it back. So the Beermen stretch it to a 3-point lead with 5 seconds remaining here in the first half. Jennings is going to have to put it up and puts it hard off the glass, unaware of the clock. So it's still going to be a 3-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen. An exciting first half here so far. Our second game of ABL Hoops Fest weekend. The San Miguel Beermen 36. The JobStreet.com Singapore Slingers 33. We've got second half action for you right after this.
I'm here with Leo Austria, head coach of the San Miguel Beermen. Coach, little slow start to the first half. How are you going to change that come the second half?
Well, I think we have to play good defense. because we're struggling. We're allowed them to score 33 points. But when we play against Indonesia last time around, so we play a good defense, and it's the reason why we beat them. But this time, so they scored 33 points, and that's a lot for them. And I think we're struggling in the first half, maybe because some of the players were not focused. And then I think we're surprised with their big man Singleton, and we're allowing him to get the ball easily in the shaded area. My instruction to them is give them a hard time to get the ball, but they get the ball easily, and that's the reason why, maybe.
Thank you, Coach. Paul, back to you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. So, some words there from Leo Austria, and you know he's right. From the beginning, Rashad Singleton established himself down low, able to get the ball easily in the first few scores.
Yes, he has. And you know what? They established it down low. You know, with the surprising players, Desmond O is actually playing very well for the Singapore Slingers, penetrating two big men down low. And that might have been the secret of their success, is keep up with their Beermen.
The Slingers hanging right in there and taking on a much larger lineup in the San Miguel Beermen. Will they be able to keep it up? We'll find out as we come back with more action from the second half here on Hoops Fest Weekend 2013. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more ABL.
So they are queuing you over this, right? Just for this one. Because there's an interview. Right, you're going to use the bathroom now?
Hah? Berapa? Nggak ada di sini. Ya, hampir. We are back at Tan Binh Stadium here for our second game of Hoops Fest 2013 weekend. Paul Pelele alongside Benny Tran on hand for this one, where the San Miguel Beermen lead it by a slight margin of 3 points over the Jobstreet.com Singapore Slingers, 36-33 at halftime. We're about to come back to second half action, but what has been the key so far for the Slingers overcoming their slow start coming back into this one?
Well, if you look at the rebound list, they're pretty even. But Rashad Jones-Jennings, he's got 9 rebounds, and half of them have been on the offensive boards. They have also been able to slow the San Miguel Beermen down on their defensive side of the court. That's really slowed the Beermen down.
15 points coming off the bench for the San Miguel Beermen compared to 3, but that's largely attributed to Justin Williams coming in to replace Brian Williams from the bench.
And, if you look at Brian Williams' stats, he's got 5 points. You'd expect him to have a lot more points. He was in foul trouble a little bit earlier.
So now the second half is underway, and right off the bat, an offensive foul charged against the Slingers. Brian Williams putting his body up there and taking one for the team and getting the possession back for the Beermen. Singapore is still showing some light pressure defense as Jarek Fortuna, Brian Williams, Asi Taulava, Kawaling, and Rizada start off for the Beermen here in the second half. Banchero catches the pass off the curl. Oh, hits the deck. Cross court. Here comes Rizada. Misses the layup, but Brian Williams is there to clean up.
Now, what a play by Brian Williams to be there and just put it back up for the easy two.
The Beermen push it to a 5-point lead right away here in the third quarter. Desmond O, top of the key. Goes down the left side. Tries to take it against Taulava. Brian Williams, one-handed rebound. And that's going to be a traveling violation. Brian Williams caught for steps, and he knows it.
Oh, yeah, he knows it. Trying to cover it up, but that was not a good play by Brian Williams just to turn it over back in the other side of the court.
So the Slingers will have it back on the offensive end. A quick inbound pass. Singleton puts it up. Too strong. Banchero with the rebound. Crosses up Desmond O. And Desmond O catches him on the leg. Banchero letting him have an earful. And Chris Banchero heated over that last defensive play by Desmond O. And what I believe it is, Desmond O caught him on the knee, on the leg with his knee. And from what I observed, that may have been the second time that's happened in this game.
Yeah, it was kind of a strange play because I thought it was a regular foul, but I think Banchero was mad at him for the fact that he's purposely sticking out his leg, and that is dangerous out in the court. We don't need any of that, purposeful, fouls to hurt other players.
The lightning quick crossover by Banchero. I mean, that could have been the result of getting around Desmond O at such speed. But Banchero, we saw him the first time in the first half. He got hit there on the leg, pulled up a little bit with a Charlie horse. So that's going to be, they're going to call that a flagrant.
Yeah, that's not a good foul, but Banchero's fast, and sometimes you just got to let him go so your teammates can pick him up down low.
Banchero makes good on the free throw, and momentum here for the Beermen right off the start of the second half.
Like I said, Desmond O is playing pretty big for the Singapore Slingers. So we'll see how that foul comes back and haunts the Singapore Slingers.
Brian Williams pops up top, and Chris Banchero now called for steps. So a couple of traveling violations for San Miguel to give the ball back to Singapore.
There has been a lot of traveling calls in this game, Paul. I'm not sure what's going on, but the refs are seeing something.
Well, all 6 teams are here for Hoops Fest with their bags packed, so all ready to travel. And Mitchell Folkoff will give it back to the Beermen, so both teams responding to each other with turnovers to start this second half. A little careless on both sides.
The Slingers have to be very careful now. With the 7-point lead, they cannot let the Beermen run away with it.
Again on the right side, it's Banchero. This time he's got Folkoff on him. Inside to Brian Williams, who gets blocked from behind by Singleton. Here come the Slingers. They've got numbers. Kabatu misses the layup. Jennings misses the follow-up and throws the pass out of bounds. I don't know who he was trying to pass to there. Trying to save it more or less from going out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a weird play. I mean, there are a lot of Singapore Slingers players down low, and he goes up. As you can see, it's the end of the backboard. I think he's trying to put it back up, and then he just throws it out of bounds.
Lost control there. Trying to find a red jersey that finds the front row instead. Asi Taulava now. Kicks out to Fortuna. Almost another turnover by the Beermen, and that is exactly what happened.
This game is getting a little bit sloppy, Paul. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on, but they're kind of running around, not focusing. Let's see if this continues, or one team at least can lock this down and put the game away.
So both sides looking to settle down here. And double team coming on Jennings. He gets it over to Singleton. Fires it over to Dulé. 7 seconds on the shot clock. They cannot find Singleton inside. The ball is tipped away. That is a tough pass. And as Jennings and Williams both hit the deck fighting for the loose ball, Williams comes up on top of that one as he gets fouled by Jennings. There we see both players hit the deck, and Jennings kind of swung his leg there on top of on top of Brian Williams, and he's not going to get away with that one.
Yeah, he kind of dove after the ball. That was a strange loose ball also by the Beermen. Some more sloppy play from the Beermen a little bit there. And Jennings just jumps on top of Brian Williams and then gets called.
Several strange sequences so far in the third quarter. Chris Banchero, guarded by Folkoff, easily gets by him, but blows the layup. And that will be a foul on Brian Williams, who cannot believe it as he clutches the right side of his face. Could have been some inadvertent contact. Let's have a look at the replay. Banchero drives inside. Williams gets knocked by Jennings on the rebound. And it was inadvertent, but he did catch an elbow there on the jaw.
And that's not a good foul by Brian Williams on the defensive boards. He's got 3 fouls now, Paul, and this is very important. If Brian Williams goes out, Justin Williams is good, but he doesn't have the same kind of all-around play that Brian Williams does.
Jennings inside to Singleton. Outside to Dulé for 3. Fortuna quick to get out and put a hand up. Brian Williams comes up with the rebound. Here we go. Off to the races again as Chris Banchero tries to pass it to Taulava on the fast break, but it's tipped away. Still Beermen possession.
I'd have to say the Slingers are hustling back on these fast breaks, and you know what? They're doing a good job of creating, defending against any free basket for the Beermen.
Taulava hands off to Banchero. Banchero again gets by Folkoff, and he misses the layup, but Brian Williams is there for the finish.
Here's the replay again. Banchero goes up. It's blocked by Jennings, but by doing that, at least Brian Williams wide open down in the lane and puts it up for an easy basket.
Folkoff trying to answer back on the other end with a quick layup of his own. He gets fouled on the play. He'll go to the line for 2.
They really need these free throws right now. Down by 9. They've got to take any points they can get. They have not been able to put anything so far in the second half, Paul.
It's been Chris Banchero taking over here in the third quarter, much like he did against the Indonesia Warriors, where his speed and his layups, he recognizes when he can get by somebody and get to the hole, and he'll do just that without hesitation.
And again, with that last foul committed by Desmond, these backups need to kind of put a stamp on Banchero, and as you can see, they really can't do that at the moment.
There's some players that you cannot make angry out on the court, or they'll just play better. Banchero, he's got Folkoff in his sights again. And double team, and he gets it to Williams for 3. Williams misses from the outside. Taulava with the offensive rebound. Fresh shot clock for the Beermen as they'll set it back up. Banchero, it's time he's got Dulé on him. Gets by both players, but misses the pass. And the Slingers get it back. Here comes Dulé, inside to Singleton. Singleton finds Jennings. Jennings puts one up over Williams. That rolls out. Kabatu gets it back, but he's blocked from behind by Williams. But that will be his 4th foul of the game as he quickly runs over to the bench, knowingly, as he picks up his 4th. A little upset and frustrated with himself there. But I mean, that was just some good defense being played by Brian Williams, unfortunately, who already had 3 fouls. Picks up his 4th, but
it looked pretty clean to me, Paul. I mean, I wasn't right under the basket where the ref saw it, but it didn't seem like a foul to me. And now that's Brian Williams' 4th foul, and he gets fouled out. Now he's got to sit out. Let's see if Justin Williams can recover for him.
Pretty tough to get a clean block, although sometimes, as clean as it gets, when you're blocking somebody from behind, you're bound to catch them a little bit or maybe even look that way. So Kabatu gets 2 free throws out of it as Justin Williams comes in to replace Brian Williams, no relation.
And we have to say, that's a good play of Kabatu to get that rebound.
The Slingers get the offensive rebound off the missed free throw by Kabatu. Jennings puts it up. That misses. Another second shot opportunity. Kabatu gets fouled again, this time by Rosada. On top of the play, the Singapore Slingers staying with the ball and trying to get every loose possession.
Rashad Jones-Jennings gets another rebound. It was a loose ball, and the Beermen had 3 people around him, and still Jennings got the ball. And as you can see, the Slingers are really trying to put the ball down low collecting some fouls on the Beermen, and that is not a bad strategy. Kind of fall back in this game. And at the end of the game, if they're all fouled out, it's a good chance for the Slingers to win this game.
If we have a look size-wise, they're matched up pretty well right now with Brian Williams sitting on the bench. Got Talava and Singleton, and the matchup against Jennings and Williams. This could prove to be the most even matchup in both lineups we've seen so far.
This was the exact same set that was on the floor when the Slingers came back. So let's see what the Slingers can do in this set.
Fortuna and Dulé almost at half court. Dulé pushing him all the way back. Under 10 seconds remain on the shot clock. Rizada down the middle. Dishes off to Williams and blows the stuff. That was an uncontested dunk, but saves it from going out of bounds into the hands of Volkov. Kabatu comes up with it inside to Singleton, and that one's good.
Oh my goodness. Like we talked about before, Paul, I mean, Freeman's got hops like crazy, and he goes up, and he misses the dunk. And look at what Rashad does. He goes back down the floor, running down the floor, and another two-handed dunk from the big man, slamming it down.
Singleton showing Williams this is how you put it down with two hands.
Exactly.
Fortuna dribbles his way inside. The floater is off the mark. Beermen get another possession. Fresh shot clock. Banchero pulls up. That's too strong. Volkov with the rebound. Kabatu slows it down. And Singleton catches up. Gets it over to Dulé. Dulé inside to Jennings. He's got Williams on him. He's got the size, but unable to get one off the glass. Williams gets the ball tipped away from behind. Volkov with the heads-up play. Jennings gets a second crack at it now, and that time he gets fouled by Williams.
That was just a careless play by Justin Williams at that point. I mean, he's a big man, and you can see that he can't dribble well, but he just loses the ball to the opposing team.
A timeout called on the floor. The Singapore Slingers want to talk it over, but they've done a good job so far to stay with the Beermen as they let them stretch it out to a double-digit lead there. So over halfway through the third quarter, it is 42-38, a 4-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen. The Slingers still in this one. We've got more ABL action for you right after this. A 4-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen here in the third quarter. We had a look at the Slinger timeout there. Coach Neil Beng Xiang talking it over with his troops. Looks like he's drawing up something to the effect of a 3-point play, trying to get his shooters into it, possibly.
This is just like deja vu from the first quarter, Paul. Brian Williams getting into foul trouble, leads the game, and then leaves out another set. And now the Indonesian Warriors are the Singapore Slingers are just coming right back.
Jennings, a low percentage free throw shooter, makes good on his first. And misses the second from the charity stripe. Chris Banchero back on the point. Asi Taulava up high. Singleton all over him. Gets it to Williams. Banchero to Rizada. Rizada all the way down the lane, and that's good for two.
What a good play by Rosada. Just kind of glides in and lays it off the glass.
Singleton with the long jumper, and that's good. A nice touch from the big man.
What a good shot. Nothing but net from Mr. Jennings, or Singleton.
So Asi Taulava unable to get out in time. And Singleton making him pay there. Here comes Chris Banchero. Nice crossover on Volkov. Gets it to Taulava. Taulava trying to show his shot. It misses. It's way off the mark. Banchero misses the putback. And the Slingers have a chance to pull even. It's a one-possession game late in the third. Kabatu puts one up from outside. Misses it. Rebound Beermen. Taulava gets it past half court. Wisely gives it up to Banchero, who loses the dribble, but gets it to Justin Williams in time. He gets fouled by Singleton.
Now that's Singleton's third foul as well, and let's see what happens with what the coaches do with his Singleton.
Nice heads-up play by Chris Banchero as he almost lost the dribble out of bounds to get it to Justin Williams.
I'm wondering what's going through Justin Williams' mind right now about trying to get up and dunk the ball instead of making the layup. Sure, he heard an earful from his coaches.
After that last missed dunk where he was uncontested, he must be thinking about it. Singleton now on the block. He's got Justin Williams on him. Help defense comes, passes it off to Volkov, back to Singleton. Puts it on the floor. Spins his way inside, and that's way off the mark. Jennings, a nice job to tip it away in the backcourt, and he gets it back from Volkov, loses it underneath, gives it right back to the Beermen. Banchero weaves his way around the Slinger defenders, and that is a nice layup by Banchero, putting them back up.
What a nice play by Banchero, going up against 6'10" Singleton, kind of arches a little back, his back out, hands to the right, and just kind of lays it back in. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you penetrate a big man down low in the paint. Mr. Banchero is on fire.
45-41 with under 2 minutes remaining here in the third. A timeout called on the floor by Singapore.
Well, it seems like Gabe Friedman is not going to participate in the dunk contest tomorrow. So it seems like Justin Williams will be there in his place. If that's the case, I hope he makes his dunks tomorrow, because it got to be a lot prettier than it is today.
Well, he won't have to worry about Rashad Singleton or Rashad Jones-Jennings being in front of him if he is competing in the dunk contest. To bring you up to date, the three-point competition will also consist of a player from each squad. Mario Wusong from the Indonesia Warriors, Wachorapong Tongsri from the Thailand Slammers, Jai Reyes, the hometown favorite here from the Saigon Heat, Leo Avenido from the Beermen, Lim Sheng Yu from the Slingers, who hasn't seen any action on the court yet, and Lo Shifai, the three-point specialist from the Dragons. As we come back after the timeout, the Beermen now showing some defense. Delvin Go into the game for the Slingers. Delvin Go will bring some size in off the bench for Singapore as he's set to compete in the dunk contest representing the Slingers tomorrow. Go along the baseline over to Volkov, to Kabatu, and Dulé pulls up for the jumper, and that's good.
He was facing the shot clock, and he kind of drove in the middle and took a jump shot, and it was beautiful.
Walling brings it up for the Beermen to Brazada, cross court to Banchero. Over to Kowalling, inside to Taulava. Tries to dump it to Justin Williams. It's tipped around, and it's out of bounds back to the Beermen, but that's going to leave them 5 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound pass to Williams. Back to Kowalling for three. A nice play set up by the Beermen, but unable to score. So it's still a 4-point lead for San Miguel.
And Talava here is having a good game, and now they don't have a presence down low, so they can't get an easy basket.
Volkov inside to Jennings, back outside to Dulé, puts up another jumper, but Williams jumping from over top of Rashad Jones-Jennings to get the block. I mean, it was just tipped, but wow, what was that?
I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it wasn't a foul. He just got up so high. He didn't even touch Jennings when he tipped the ball.
A nice play there by Justin Williams defensively, and that will turn into a offensive possession for the Beermen. Let's see if they can capitalize. Taulava makes a move in the lane. The ball tipped away. They're going to say it's Beermen possession. So again, the Beermen faced with a shot clock that's down to 6 seconds now. They're going to have to drop another play off this inbounds.
The last play wasn't a good play when they passed it to Justin Williams and try to kick it back out, but this is a lot better. When he cuts inside, you need 6 seconds left. You got to cut some players inside and get an easy basket instead of dilly-dallying with the ball. That's what exactly the Beermen did, and now look, they're back up by 6.
A nice look by Kowalling to find Rosada underneath. Banchero takes one from Dulé. Collision there, and that leads to a basket by Jennings. Dulé is able to get free as the clock runs out here in the third quarter. The San Miguel Beermen lead it by 4. Here's that last play. Jennings able to get it up in time and cut the lead back down to 4. The San Miguel Beermen 49, the Singapore Slingers 45. We are set to tip off or to begin the fourth quarter here at Tan Binh Stadium. Our second game featuring the JobStreet.com Singapore Slingers and the San Miguel Beermen. A win here for San Miguel will pull them back within 1 game behind of league-leading Indonesia Warriors. So they're going to want to come away with a win here. However, the Singapore Slingers trying to break their 2-game losing streak and steal one from the Beermen. Fourth quarter begins with Banchero, Justin Williams, Avenido, Taulava, and Kowalling. Banchero able to get his own miss over the much taller defenders, but the Beermen set it back up. Avenido bounces it inside the Taulava. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Taulava bangs his way inside. And Singleton catches him on the arm on that move.
That's Singleton's 4th foul, and that's danger zone for the Singapore Slingers. Now both teams, the best players, the biggest players, got 4 fouls. Let's see what the Singapore Slingers coach does with Singleton. Does he leave him in the game or does he take him out?
Dulé, Volkov, Jennings, Singleton, and Kabatu to start the fourth for the Slingers. Desmond O, after that last hard foul against Banchero, has sat out since. Both teams not shooting particularly well from the outside, both under 20%. But the action here happening inside the paint. The Beermen winning the battle of the board so far. Taulava over Jennings.
And that's what we usually see from Taulava, and we haven't seen much tonight. Taulava bounces off, and just with a one-hand shot, he just tosses it in.
Little fancy move there from Taulava. Puts it up with one hand. Slingers down by 6. Still plenty of time in this one. Dulé gets it inside to Singleton. Singleton again spins around 2 defenders. Puts it up, but it's too strong, and Justin Williams gets it over to Banchero. Beermen quickly up the floor. Avenido back to Kawaling. Down to Taulava. Taulava, baseline. Taulava, pump fake, and blocked by Singleton. Taulava with another crack at it, and that's tipped in by Justin Williams.
What a good tip in by Justin Williams, and that's where his vertical lead comes in. He just puts it back in.
Both teams trying to assert themselves now here in the fourth inside the paint. Both recognizing their shooting troubles from outside. Jennings dishes off to Singleton, and count that!
That is not good play by Justin Williams. He was already on the losing side of that battle. He still went up and tried to block Singleton.
Where Justin Williams excels in height, in his jumping ability, he lacks in size. He's got sort of that slim build, so banging against guys like Jennings and Singleton, he's probably not going to win that battle most times.
He's not. And we've seen it a couple times also lose the ball on the offensive side. And, Brian Williams is still out, so let's see how long the coach will keep Justin Williams in the game and brings Brian Williams back.
Missed free throw leads to an offensive set by the Beermen, and Banchero getting roughed up in this one. Hits the deck again.
Yeah, you know what? But Banchero is playing out of his mind right now. And it's very clear what we're seeing here from the San Miguel Beermen. Banchero is just pushing the ball down, and Dulé cannot slow him down. And this is really disrupting the defense for the Singapore Slingers.
Not a lot of players in this league can keep up with Chris Banchero.
That is true, yes.
And in the off season, he could probably try out for the national track and field team. Chris Banchero makes good on his first free throw, stretching this back out to a 7-point lead. So this would be a bad time for the Singapore Slingers to decide to go into a scoring drought.
They can't seem to get anything going on offense right now, Paul. And it seems like they're trying to go down low. They're trying to go up top. But really nothing's going through. They're not getting good pass or any good looks.
Banchero makes good for both free throws. The Beermen pressuring in the backcourt. Slingers able to get it over the half-court line. Don Dulé gets a screen from Singleton. Over to O. Desmond O back in the game. Gets open. He's going to have to make those. And Jennings tries to collect the rebound, but he falls out of bounds on the baseline, and that goes back to the Beermen.
Yeah, the Slingers have to buy a basket sometime soon, or the Beermen, at this pace, they're just going to pull away.
8-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen. Trying to stretch it to double digits. Avenido over to Williams. Banchero finds Avenido inside. A nice curl by Leo Avenido, and it is now a 10-point lead for the San Miguel Beermen. Coach Neil Bengxiang has seen enough.
Here we see the replay of Banchero on top and the quick move down low and an easy pass. I have to say, Banchero is the MVP so far in this game in my book.
If you're a coach, that's what you try to teach your players, to move without the ball. Leo Avenido doing a great job curling around the defender, leaving Dulé behind, and able to get that open look inside. It is 57 to 47 for the San Miguel Beermen with 7.5 minutes remaining in the game.
And you know what, Paul? It seems like the Singapore Slingers are slowing down a little bit. And this is what we talked about earlier, where you keep the two big men. I don't remember when they actually sat down for a rest. They're going to be tired. And you see on that set, people are moving a little bit slowly. Going to open some holes, some good passes. Will get easy baskets against a defense that's slow on its feet.
Fatigue definitely a factor in this one, as we have seen Singleton and Jennings almost the entire game so far for the Slingers. Not much rest except for the short stint that Delvin Go came in. But other than that, we've seen both these U.S. imports playing it out here for Singapore. The Slingers pushing it up. Dulé on the right side. O to the left side to Kabatu. Back over to O. Dulé looking for Jennings inside. Jennings powers his way in, but Singleton changing that shot. Banchero speeds his way down the court, gets the basket and the foul.
What a good play. Hustle play for Chris Banchero, but also Desmond O. What are you thinking when it's 3-1 and you're down there, you're in foul trouble? This is something that you do not want to do. Just let him have the free basket. So now it might be a three-point play.
This is Beermen basketball at its finest, as Chris Banchero once again leads the way. We mentioned earlier at how good a finisher he is, especially when he gets fouled. You know, sometimes I think he's a better finisher when he gets fouled. We've seen him do it plenty of times in the previous game they played, and now he's done it again here. You're absolutely right, though, Benny. I mean, Desmond O, a foul that, you know, if he's going to foul, he might as well foul completely instead of just one of those fouls that still allows him that layup. The free throw, though, is off the mark. A turnover will give it back to the Slingers. King Dae-woo into the game. Dulé to Jennings. Mitchell Folkoff. Beermen playing great defense. Singleton making his move and blocked. It was tipped away by Williams, but Jennings picks it up underneath.
That was a good pickup by Jennings there, but Justin Williams really showing his athleticism at this point to get the blocks and the rebounds.
Banchero sets it up, back up top. Avenido, back to Banchero. Wow!
Oh, my goodness.
Chris Banchero is on fire.
He is on fire. What a shot by Chris Banchero. He's been scored 3 points in a row on the right side.
King Dae-woo takes one. It's a long two, and that's a nice shot by King Dae-woo, but he steps on the line. It will count as a two-pointer for the Slingers. They're back within 10. And Banchero setting it back up. We have seen everything from Chris Banchero here tonight. Gets it to Williams, and finally gets the two-handed flush. That's going to be a travel, called for steps. We're going to have another look at this one. There he takes one, two,
that's a travel. He took an extra step right there, even though that looked really pretty, Paul.
You know, a nice dunk. However, that's not the first
traveling violation we've seen from him tonight. So again, sometimes a good dunker will get too excited when he gets that open. So now the Slingers have it back. Still down by 10 halfway here through the fourth quarter.
That's the second time that he's seen an open basket. Looks a little hungry. Oh my goodness.
There he redeems himself with a huge block. Taulava with the finish. And Chris Banchero picks up the assist.
Now that was pretty as well. There's a dunk fest that's going on now.
You know, the San Miguel Beermen, this is exactly how you want to play as a team. It doesn't matter if you have a bit of a slow start, but they've been picking it up every quarter since. Second quarter, they played well, allowed the Slingers back in it, but here in the third and the fourth especially, they've really pulled away from the Slingers.
And like you said, now we're seeing Beermen basketball. Team play, a lot of athleticism, and this is the result of it.
The Beermen are a very good half-court team, but also good out in transition. As Volkov misses a three for the Slingers. And here we go, back again on the run. Another transition basket, just as I was mentioning how good they are in transition. And that one, again, another assist by Chris Banchero, finding Avenido with that bounce pass to get it around the defender. That's just a beautiful sight to see.
Yeah, I mean, the Singapore Slingers, like I said before, you know, previously they got back on defense even when it was in the fast break. They're slowing down. They let Avenido just slip right through. I mean, he was wide open. There is no excuse for that, especially when you have a 2-on-2 with a third player coming on the wing.
So all smiles on the bench of the Beermen. Not so as we have a look at the Slingers timeout. A little bit down after the lead has been pushed to 14.
And you know what? Justin Williams looks like he's settling in a little bit. A little bit of trouble on the offensive side. On the defensive side, you know, Singleton Norgen is going to get a basket on Justin Williams. He just gets up, just swats it out.
So what he's missed so far on the offensive end, a couple of blown dunks and so on and so forth, he's definitely made up on the defensive end.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just a small preview of what you will see tomorrow night, the first ABL Slam Dunk Session. Hope you can join us.
Can't wait. It's going to be an exciting one, the first of its kind so far in the ABL. ABL now in its fourth season. And we have seen so far a lot of action from both sides. But right now the San Miguel Beermen are really trying to put this one out of reach for good. Back after the timeout, Don Dulé on the offensive possession for the Slingers. Taulava comes out to guard him. Ping Dae-woo. Drives down the lane, and again Williams is there.
Oh, I think he just took the express elevator on that block shot.
Ping Dae-woo down the lane and runs into a wall called Justin Williams.
My goodness. It took him a split second to get up that high, just swatted away.
He's giving Chris Charles a run for his money there, the ABL blocks leader. Again, Williams changes that shot by Singleton, and right now, the Slinger bigs showing some fatigue. Not so on the other end for Asi the Rock Taulava, putting one down. His second dunk here in the fourth quarter, and the Beermen bench is just loving it.
He handles that ball like a little tennis ball. He just grabs it, slings it around, just slams it down.
Dulé tries to answer back with a three, and absolutely ice cold from the outside are the JobStreet.com Singapore Slingers. And Chris Banchero wisely slowing it down now as the Beermen are completely in control. Taulava outside to Avenido. Avenido misses the three. Williams fights for the rebound, but that's going to go back to the Slingers. So an outstanding job so far by San Miguel to stretch the lead out to 16 without Brian Williams in the game.
Exactly. You know, in the beginning it didn't really work, but then you saw the team pick up the speed, and you see the contributions of Justin Williams and Taulava on the fast break, on the transition, and now they just built a humongous lead to really kind of put this game away.
Jennings weaves his way to pull one off the backboard. Lead is cut to 14. But again, the Beermen are slowing it down. Kawaling back to Banchero. Over to Avenido. Beermen swinging the ball around to Kawaling. Kawaling takes the three. Misses the shot. Rebound, Slingers. And he's fouled from behind by Justin Williams.
You saw Banchero fly in there. That guy's all over the place, and he almost got that rebound.
Banchero, not necessarily a doubles guy, but he'll fill up that stat sheet all the way across the board. He likes to go for those loose balls and fight for rebounds, and obviously get some steals here and there.
Here he comes flying in off the rebound. Gets up really high. Ooh. I'm surprised he didn't get hurt there.
Slingers back on offense. They'll have time to make one last push at this one. Here's Sheng Yu over to Singleton, and Singleton turns it over. And Brian Williams back in the game, and right away gets the basket and the foul. A little celebration there with Asi Taulava.
Sheng Yu is just happy he didn't dunk that ball on him right there. I mean, what a good play for Brian Williams.
Still able to have the strength to sneak it in, even as he's fouled. And now the Slingers are over the foul limit, and they will send the Beermen to the line each and every foul the remainder of the way. Williams makes good on the three-point play. It's a 17-point lead, the biggest of the game so far for the Beermen. Dulé finds Sheng Yu, the corner. King Daewoo off the mark. Williams gobbles up the rebound. Banchero slowing it down. Under 2 minutes to go in this game, as we see the fans filing in for our next game, the Westports Malaysia Dragons. As Banchero gets fouled by Dulé, the Dragons will face off against the hometown heroes, the Saigon Heat, who are hosting Hoops Fest weekend here, and the stadium will be a lot louder for that next game.
It's going to be rocking, and it's going to be on Fox Sports, and hope everyone tunes in then. And also, you can watch on YouTube. But the crowd here does go a little crazy, a little loud, but you know that's good for the ABL, and it's going to be a great game, especially with the two big men back for the Saigon Heat.
Benny always one for the understatements. To say the least, it gets a little bit loud. We can barely hear ourselves at times. As we see the Beermen bench are all smiles. Asi Taulava having a strong fourth quarter there, along with Chris Banchero.
Yeah, Taulava just kind of finally woke up in the fourth quarter, running the floor, making the offensive plays, and I think they found out the right formula against the Singapore Slingers, and look where we're at now.
He's been playing better and better as of late, and the Beermen, big part of the Beermen's recent three-game winning streak, as Banchero almost tips it away, still very intense on the defensive end, not allowing the Slingers to have any daylight. Singleton, a long jumper, and now it really shows the fatigue of these bigs when they're taking these long jumpers from outside, not even trying to work the ball inside. But you know, you've got to see how tired they are. These guys are making their way up and down the court for almost the entire game and breathing really heavily.
They are, and you know, their backcourt's really not helping them out. I don't remember the last time Singapore Slingers scored a basket. They've got to do something to get any kind of points on the board here. And everyone seems pretty tired.
Paul Tielli into the game, and he almost makes it a 20-point lead. 1 minute remaining in this one, as the Beermen looks like they are going to record their 8th win of the season. I apologize, their 7th win of the season, but that will put them behind the Indonesia Warriors' 8 wins, so just 1 game behind. And again, these guys all play again on Sunday, so that could all change by the end of the weekend.
Well, it was interesting for a little while there, Paul, but San Miguel figured a little game plan out a little bit, picked up their speed, you know, really wore these Slingers down.
Slingers going big to close out this one. As Delvin Gold comes back in, but again, the outside shot not there for the Slingers. Fortuna Gets it over to Hubalde. Back to Fortuna. Little fake and misses the jumper. The Beermen with the offensive rebound, and that'll do it. So things falling apart here in the second half of the Singapore Slingers. Here's another shot, another second chance opportunity for Brian Williams, and it is now a 20-point lead. Time winding out now with 5 seconds remaining, and Luanzan almost gets the steal for the Beermen. It won't matter though, as the Beermen put it away here in the fourth quarter. The final score in this one, 73-53. The San Miguel Beermen improved to 7-3. They dropped the JobStreet.com Singapore Slingers with another loss. That will be the third loss in a row, and will put them at 4-6 for the season. After a inconsistent start to the season for the San Miguel Beermen, they have won and lost each game for the first 6 games, and now they're on a tear and have won their last 4 straight.
You can see why they won 4. They really picked up the game. I mean, in the beginning, they were a little bit slow. But at the end of the game, as you said, Beermen basketball, speed, power, athleticism, they've got all of the different components of a championship team. And let's see how they do the second half of the season. But tonight, you saw what they could do.
Chris Banchero with an outstanding game in the second half, with the assists, with the points. I mean, he was the key factor of the game.
He was, and you can see the hustle and the speed that came from Chris Banchero, and this really ignited the team to do as well as they did. He was the linchpin for their success tonight.
The player of the game, obviously, representing for the San Miguel Beermen, will now go courtside to our reporter who is with Chris Banchero right now, our key player for the San Miguel Beermen. Joe?
Thanks, Paul. I'm here with the player of the game, Chris Banchero. Chris, tale of 2 halves. What did you change in the second half?
We knew we had to come out and play better defense in the second half, and that's what we did. Our new import played big. He protected the basket like he had to, and then I thought we got up and down transition in the second half.
Great. With the quick turnaround, having another game on Sunday, is there anything you're going to change about your routine here in the next 48 hours?
No, not at all, man. I think that's 4 in a row for us now, so I think we're going to stay with what we're doing because we're playing well right now.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. So there it is, Chris Banchero. Obviously, not much to change about their gameplay. They've got to be really happy with the way they performed tonight. I mean, the Singapore Slingers did go a bit cold there in the second half, but, I mean, a lot of great plays coming out in transition for the Beermen.
Yes, in the very beginning, Brian Williams got into foul trouble a little bit early. They were slowed down a little bit by the offense of the Singapore Slingers. And the game was very close for a while until something clicked in and their speed picked up. Justin Williams coming in from Brian Williams, really picked up his game, and they just pulled away on a lot of fast breaks and also good defense.
Back-to-back 19-point game performances from Chris Banchero as he leads the Beermen to another win, a 20-point win, a blowout here over the Slingers here at Ton Vins. Make sure you tune in for our third game featuring the Westports Malaysia Dragons and the Saigon Heat. We're going to step away for a short moment. We'll be right back with more ABL.
Thanks, Paul. Coach, at halftime, you told me that defense was going to be key in the second half. Your new import really protected the rim. Was that by design?
Yeah, I told them during the halftime we have to be focused on our defense, because if we have a good defense, our offense will follow, and that's what happened. And our big man got into foul trouble, and that's a good sign of a good defense. And we're lucky because we have a new import that could man the shaded area, and that is because of his blocking defense, and it turned out to have a lot of our easy layup.
Awesome. Great win, Coach. Thank you very much. Back to you.
That was Coach Leo Austria with our reporter Joe Johnson. I apologize for that. And, although 14 points and 14 rebounds from Rashad Jones-Jennings and 16 points and 5 blocks from Rashad Singleton. It just wasn't enough for the Slingers tonight.
It wasn't, and if you look at the rebounds, the San Miguel Beermen out-rebounded Singapore Slingers 42-28, even though Jennings had 14 rebounds. I mean, as a team, you've got to be more even in that stat column. You got to do a lot better job, and as you saw at the end of the game, you know, they basically the Singapore Slingers were simply outplayed.
Still more to come here in 2013 Hoops Fest weekend. A big one coming up between the Saigon Heat and the Westport Malaysia Dragons. Don't forget to tune into all the action here in the ABL on youtube.com/ABL. We're going to live stream everything from our three-point competition, our slam dunk competition, all the entertainment, and of course the remainder of the games this weekend. We're going to have our look at our final game stats, and obviously the shooting percentages were low from the outside for both teams. We have a look 13 and 15% respectively, but look at that field goal percentage skyrocket in the second half of the Beermen.
Yeah, they were taking a lot of high percentage shots, a lot of layups and dunks where they were guaranteed, you know, basically points, and they kept racking them up, and you can see that also in the transition game late in the game where they were basically out hustling the Singapore Slingers.
Also controlling the battle of the boards there, 42-28 on the glass, and winning the battle on the free throw line as well. I mean, below 50% for the Singapore Slingers.
Certainly, you cannot be out-rebounded, and the way that the Singapore Slingers stayed in the game was Jennings was going out of his mind rebounding everything, and then by the second half of the game, it kind of withered quite a bit.
So almost winning every statistic in this one, and that's going to lead to a 20-point win. So a great win there for San Miguel, 4th in a row, and they're going to look for their 5th win on Sunday. Make sure to tune in for our Heat versus Dragons game coming up next. And we're going to step away. We're going to come right back with more ABL action for you. And don't forget to tune in to our ABL Friday basketball action on Fox Sports.